Good evening. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Raul Amin, and I'm the training director for the psychiatry residency program here at Walter Reed. Um, I'm going to give you this brief. If you're faculty, a commander, or standardized patient. Um, the goals of this is I want to provide an overview of the logistics of our simulation exercise. I want to go over the three stations and the associated cases. And I also want to clarify the various roles that the commanders, faculty, and the SPs have. Um, and I also want to invite you to email me if you need additional opportunities or preparation. You'll be provided with all the material via an email. So I wanted to share this with you just to see where this nest in terms of our mission goes. And so if you focus on the last two lines, our mission is not just to have competent psychiatrists, but our mission is to have military psychiatrists who are enabling the medical readiness of their commanders and their military units. So how do we do that? We have the additional challenge of not just training someone who's board certified in psychiatry, which is a 4-year program after one does their MD or DO, but there's also the dual role as military officers. So most of our trainees end up arriving to us, and they do their high school, then they go to their undergraduate school, they get their medical degree, and they show up as O3 with essentially zero military experience. So how do we make them reasonably competent? How do we strengthen their Army, Navy, Air Force identity? How do we teach them the competencies that are needed in order to operate more effectively and be more productive for their commanders? So we have these 4 core domains where we focus on officership skills, we focus on clinical readiness competency. So that entails things that we do in the clinic that are unique to military psychiatrists, like, duty limitations, med boards, things of that nature. But also engaging with commanders when there are concerns with soldiers. We also have the additional task of serving as staff officers in operational units. And then administrative and leadership / management skills. So these are some of the things by which we try to improve these competencies. And if you see under operational psychiatry and clinical readiness competencies, MPOSE is an important element, or this simulation exercise that we're doing today. So this is going to enable us to allow for our trainees to operate more effectively in operational environment, as well as do those unique military psychiatric skills, especially with this exercise being focused on how to more effectively communicate with commanders. This is something that we have done previously, and this is some data. You can pause the video, but the big takeaway here is that for each station, with the exception of station 1, for 2 and 3, every element that we measured has that asterisk next to it, and what that means is these were statistically significantly improved pre versus post simulation training. My hope is that that we'll have similar efficacy this year. And then the additional thing that we've observed in the after action report is that both the commanders and the faculty have reported great satisfaction and enjoyment when they did that. And I hope that you'll have similar experience. So let's go into the first case. So we have 3 stations. We're going to be running essentially up to 9 different rooms potentially. So we'll have, you know, 2 or 3 simultaneous case 1s going on, case 2s, and case 3s. This takes place at the Walter Reed Simulation Center, and we'll provide all the 5 W's of where that is located. So the first case focuses on when a military psychiatrist deals with individual soldier concerns. So in this case, it's going to be safety concerns in an operational environment. And so each station is 30 minutes, and that is divided, for this case, the first 15 minutes are going to be a one-on-one meeting between the psychiatrist, so our trainee, and the commander, one of you that are volunteering. You're going to meet with a trainee, and you're going to discuss the case. So you'll have up to 15 minutes. After that, we go to phase 2, which is 10 minutes of feedback, and then we have you do the evaluation form. So for commanders, the way it's going to work is, if you could review the case 1 faculty/commander version, it'll allow you to see what the goals and objectives are, and it'll give you a sense of what the case is. For commanders, we've also provided you with an additional document that gives you some prompts to help you keep the trainee engaged as they engage with you about this individual case. So you'll have this meeting, and then afterwards you'll have 10 minutes to give feedback to the trainee so that they can improve, and then 5 minutes to complete the evaluation form. For the faculty, you're going to be posted outside the room. There is a one-way window, and you're going to be able to observe, and you're going to be able to hear, because there are microphones and cameras and so on in the room. So you'll observe the trainee and the commander dyad meeting. Then after they're done, usually about 15 minutes, you'll go in and join the commander in giving the feedback, and then you'll complete the evaluation form. The evaluation rubric is listed on the right, but it would be best to review that. Ultimately, you could show up not having reviewed any of this, and it'll literally take you about 5 minutes to review these things. You don't really need to have any kind of particular knowledge of the specifics of the case. Case 2, again, this is a faculty and a commander observation. So case 1 deals with individual issues. Case 2 deals with how does a military psychiatrist engage the commander when the commander needs assistance with some population level issue. So population level issues could include, rise in DUIs, and say a division commander is concerned that we're having too many DUIs, or we're having too many domestic violence issues, or too much sleep concerns, or a rise in drug use, you name it, things that show up on blotter. But how would a division psychiatrist, for example, help the commander with decision making? That's sort of the overall goal of this. So the trainee is asked or tasked to prepare and then deliver a commander's decision brief. The trainee is going to show up with 4 printed versions. The room is going to be set up with a table, the commander at the head of the table, and then the faculty can sit on the side. We may also have some NCOs to kind of create an environment that may be typical for like a desk side brief. The trainee shows up, and then we give him about 5 minutes to prep and distribute his or her brief slides that they have printed. Um, then they'll have 7 to 10 minutes to deliver the brief, and then after that, about 10 minutes for both the commander and anybody else in the room, including the faculty, to give their observations and feedback using the provided rubric. So for the trainees, we have actually given them, sort of what an ideal decision brief should look like. And I have provided a YouTube link. If you want, you can also use that QR code. Hold your camera to this, your phone camera, and it should be able to take you to the video. If you want to see what that looks like, so that you have a yardstick with which to measure the trainees. So specifically for the commanders, review the Case 2 faculty and commander grading rubric, just to give you a sense of what the expectations are. You'll receive the brief over 7 to 10 minutes, and then 10 minutes feedback together with the other faculty and maybe if there are other additional people in the room. 5 minutes to complete the evaluation form. For the faculty, again, observe. So for the commander, one of the things you want to, being on the receiving end, you want to focus your feedback on, obviously the slidology, the delivery, etc., professionalism, communication, etc. But also, you may have no medical background, and so you want to also give a brief on whether or not it was overall effective. Do you feel moved? Do you feel like they've helped you with your decision making or not? For the faculty, you could, given your medical background, you could also focus greatly when it comes to your feedback on the type of courses of action that they come up with, feasibility, and how reasonable they were. But overall, I encourage you to be more of a hawk than a dove and give, have high expectations and give feedback ultimately, so that the trainees can reflect on that and improve. The rubric for this is given on the right side of the slide, but you can also, I would recommend review the faculty commander version for case 2. So moving on to the final case, which is case 3. So in this case, we do not have any commander involvement. So for commanders, you're only dealing with case 1 and case 2. So you can stop reviewing this video. Case 3 involves evaluation and management of an individual service member after a traumatic incident. So we want the trainees to use their combat operational stress control concepts and apply those here. The trainee and the SP, the standardized patient, are going to meet in the room. And again, the faculty is outside watching through the window, through the one-way window, and listening. So 15 minutes of evaluation by the trainee of the standardized patient, then 10 minutes for feedback, and 5 minutes to provide evaluation or complete the evaluation form. So for the SPs, please review the case 3 faculty SP version, and then we've also have a SP prompt for the case 3, so review that as well. It'll hopefully give you some hints on better engaging the trainee. And then 10-minute feedback together with the observing faculty. So after you're done, you can call in the faculty, you both can join, and then 5 minutes to complete the evaluation for the faculty. Review case 3. If you need to improve your COSC knowledge or skills, review those materials too. If you need those, contact the residency leadership and we'll get you those items. Observe the trainee through the one-way window, and then engage with the trainee when we go to the second phase, the feedback phase. After about 10 minutes, complete the evaluation form. So again, I leave it up to the SP and the faculty. So if for whatever reason the trainees gets done sooner than 15 minutes, you can proceed to phase 2 sooner than waiting for, and then just spend more time with them. Ultimately, the goal here is we want the trainee to think differently when it comes to operational and deployed setting. So this ends our informational brief. Please email me if you have any questions or concerns. Thank you so much again for volunteering to do this. I'm really grateful.